back to Girls Like Us TV. I'm Ashley D, and today we have a very special guest joining us. Everybody, please welcome CJ. Woo!
Thank y'all for having me.
No problem. And today we're going to be actually talking about a very interesting topic. We're going to be discussing Kevin Samuels. For those of you who don't know, he's a relationship guru on YouTube. He specializes in giving women relationship advice based off their looks, their number of kids, their failed relationships, their ability to listen to men, their ability to be submissive, and all things of that nature. Okay guys, so today we'll be referencing 2 videos from Kevin Samuels, and they'll be linked in the description box below for you guys to also reference along with this. And one of them, he's discussing this young woman's weight, her height, and her age. And he's also saying how since she rated herself an 8, how she's not really an 8 because Beyonce is an 8 and she's not up to par with Beyonce. So in the other video, he's talking about how another woman who is an established business owner, how she's not up to par for a high value man as well because she's average as best based on her looks. So let's get into it. The first question I have for you is, what do you all consider a high value man based off of your own opinion?
My definition of a high value man would be somebody who has some type of career, and I don't mean job. To me, jobs and careers are very different. So someone who has a career and pretty much knows what he wants to do, whether that is being a manager somewhere, whether that's owning his own business, or if he's working for somebody and he's entry level, if that's what he wants to do, that's what he wants to do. However, I feel as though he needs to know, okay, make a certain kind of income, because I feel like a man should be a provider. So that's my definition of high value, is somebody who knows what they want, has the correct fundage, and I don't want to give a number for that because every number is arbitrary, but if it was my number, I definitely feel like I live in Atlanta, so anything about 80 and above is what I would be wanting my man to make, and that was what I would be considering as high value.
A guy of substance and quality, and of course numerical does matter, but overall just a guy of substance, a good man, a provider, but someone who does not just provide financial support, someone who also has emotional stability, honesty, communication, family oriented, in line with my spiritual values, my principles, my morals, and we just like have that type of unbreakable chemistry.
I think like in general, like the qualities Keisha said, but also I think it comes down to just financial stability.
Oh, absolutely.
If we just being real, because you can make, below 60,000, you can have all those qualities, you can have the morals, you can have that chemistry, but at the end of the day, a high value man is financial stability, how you can provide, and basically the cream of the crop.
Absolutely.
That's
so
what
that's
my
more
definition
financial over anything?
That's what a high value man is, and that's what Kevin refers to that.
If the question is what a high value man and what Kevin Samuels sees, that's what he's talking about. He's talking about how much you make, because that's what women care about. Women care about money.
So you all are saying y'all agree that you all's main component of a high value man is his financial status.
Nobody's saying that I'm looking for that type of man, but a high value man, if that's what I'm seeking,
you want that
financial.
So when you date, you ask the man like, what's your salary? Like, what you making? Or where you work and stuff like that.
I absolutely ask, where do you work?
And you cut someone off if they're not making, like you said, 80,000 or more, right. And you're
that goes back to the question. The question was, what's a high value man? I'm giving you what my definition of a high value man is. Okay. Now, what I look for is more aligned with what you said.
Okay. So we have a man here, and I feel like this will be a very good opportunity for you to speak to us about what you feel, since you are a man, what you qualify as a high value man in your own opinion.
Well, to me, a high value man, in my opinion, would be what women value in a man, because it's important. It's more important to what the woman values, more so than what I would think. Your mom would think. My mom would think I'm like a 10 on the scale. But what's more important, what my mom would think, or what I think, or what the woman that I'm trying to go get thinks?
Want a superficial relationship is what you're saying?
Like, she means superficial relationship.
So right now we've all established high value means money.
But I accept that.
Oh, you accept it?
Yeah.
So
I don't have no problem with a woman saying I won't date a dude that's making X amount, because men of a certain amount of money, you look at women in a certain way. If you're a high value man, you're gonna get the top notch looking woman.
Yeah. Okay.
So women value men with money. Men value looks first. Women value the provider ability first.
So you trying to make sure you come and meet your high value woman in the middle somewhere
Exactly.
with what she needs.
Exactly.
So she give you what you need. Okay.
So when you are like day to day, when you trying to be a man that your future wife will value, what are you trying to be? That makes sense. You get what I'm saying?
Well, the first thing is provide and protect.
Okay.
That's the first thing. And the more you can provide and
Yes.
protect, the higher your value is to the women on the market.
Okay.
Okay.
So in men's eyes, when we say, you know, I want a woman that's top notch, our measurement is looks first.
Okay.
All the other stuff come after that. It's like, it's important, but the looks get you in the door.
Right. Of course.
So, you know, you could be 600 pounds, have a heart of gold. No nigga, I'm sorry.
No, I feel
No, you can be real.
Yeah.
No man cares, because it's like, why would I do that if I can get better?
Yeah.
You know, y'all not gonna settle for less than what you want. So it's like men are saying, why should I settle for somebody who don't care about their appearance? You know.
Yeah, I feel like high value is not just money, because if he got all the money in the world and he look like, you know, if he ain't fine, then I'm not gonna give him no time of day.
No, ugly guys. You
I
definitely.
said me personally.
Oh,
like,
okay.
so you telling me if a nigga not fine and he got bank, you still gonna give him time of day?
No, not me personally, but a lot of women will.
Yeah, most women will.
Look at all these
And
ugly rappers. They pull the baddest shorties.
Yeah.
Except they
they
got
still have huge cheating
yeah.
scandals because women are chasing them.
and that would even
Women are
matter to
chasing.
people. That's the thing. Like,
That money make them fine. and to reference back to Kevin Samuels, he said in the United States of America about the majority of black men make about
40,000.
42,000. Yeah, 42,000.
That's what. So let's be realistic.
Yeah. Any man who makes more than that, especially you a black man. Yeah, and for Atlanta, I mean, I'm not gonna get into specifics, but you need a little bit more than that as a household to even be able to stand. So
for you, would you date a woman that don't have no degree, she don't really have no job, but she fine as fuck?
But nothing
You
going.
said, would I date her?
Yeah.
Would you marry? Like, would you date to marry her? Not just to have sex with her, but like, is she wifey?
It depends.
She fine, she Beyonce, she Riri, she Janae, but she ain't got not type of coins. She has no
Degree, no
all she is
No
she,
drive, no ambition.
her sex good, she fine.
So like, the first thing, if she looks really good, she gonna get a chance.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna learn. Now, me personally, because I am educated, it's certain things that I do require to be able to talk about. You know, like if I can't talk to you on a certain level, it's just, I'm not gonna get intimate with you. So, I mean, it'll get you maybe a date, maybe a little fling.
but it ain't get a ring.
Yeah, it's not gonna get you a ring.
Y'all heard that?
But in that same breath, I feel like with women, when we looking at a man, money gets him into the door.
Yeah.
But money's not gonna make me stay.
Yeah.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's
So,
the difference.
for who? For women?
Yeah. Well, for me personally.
Oh,
for me personally. Maybe not for majority of women, but
women are staying around these days for that Birkin and for that Louis and for that Chanel, and they don't give a dang, and they know that man out here doing what he doing,
But they feel like a man on the side.
And they do, but they feel like it's good enough for them. Like, I'm living this lavish lifestyle. I got this man wining and dining. I've heard people say stuff like that, and there's women that we see in the industry who are sticking around over and over and over and over again for these men. Like,
And men are gonna continue to do these things if you keep.
it allows them.
Right.
And that's how it got normalized in
Exactly.
society, and that's why we have people like Kevin Samuels putting women on a chopping block, because we've normalized some of these ignorant behaviors and high values that really shouldn't be so much of a high value. But
so since we're speaking on high value men, Sweetie, she had a high value man, Quavo, as we all know. So, and by Kevin Samuels' definition, Quavo is a high value man. So she alleged that Quavo was unfaithful, but does this mean that's what comes with the territory of having a high value man, being cheated on and them being unfaithful?
well, I'm sorry, y'all, I keep coming through, but in my opinion, high value men and broke men both cheat.
Yeah.
Let's keep it 1,000. Let's say that
That
first.
men, they all cheat.
Every I'm not gonna say every man. man cheats, because I don't believe my daddy is a cheater.
I was like, wait a minute.
But no, that's what I'm saying. I don't say all men cheat, but I think it's a very high percentage of men that cheat, and I feel like it doesn't matter how much money they make.
Yeah.
I think they just do what they do.
I think people in general cheat out.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, I think women probably cheat too. We just don't know because y'all better at it.
Yeah, especially if you want a high value man that don't look good, but then you probably gonna cheat on him with a fine ass nigga.
Who's not a high value man.
Exactly. You get your Birkin, but you're gonna take your middle class man.
I mean, I love me a good looks come before money for me.
Yeah.
But that's also been my downfall in life. But hey,
Because unless you want some ugly ass kids, you are not going to have no.
How has the looks been your downfall as far as the guys you dated?
well, it's been my downfall because I'm shallow. I will be honest. I'm working on it. God's working on me. But I want my man to be fine. I want to be attracted to my man. I want to look at you and just start all types of things happening. And I just feel like, as women, as you said, women do look at money and say, oh, he got the money, everything else second. I look at the looks and then everything else second. But that's been my downfall because, in my opinion, them fine men don't be having their ish together. And I'm just keeping it 100. I rarely meet a very attractive man that's not an athlete, some type of rapper, some type of scammer, some type of business owner. I'm talking about the regular degglers, men.
Yeah.
If they fine, they ain't got their life together. That's just the Bible. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel.
Don't say the Bible.
So you saying the men that you find attractive, they never had their stuff together?
Not really. Majority of them.
Majority of them, okay. Would you find me attractive?
Yeah, I think you're attractive.
Okay, well, I think I got my stuff together. I kind of handle my business. I got education degree. I got a nice career. Help run a family business as well. We got some pretty good things going on. So I just want to know, is it the men that you're necessarily going after?
Ooh. I mean, that could be a good. I guess because, well, first of all, I feel like y'all are unicorns. I don't feel like it's many men that I have seen, or let me say this, because I don't shoot my shot. So I would say I don't meet many men who actually are shooting their shot at me that have your qualities. The ones that have your qualities, they may be attractive as you are, but then I find out they ain't got no car, they live with their mama still, it be something of that nature going on. Or then I'll get a man that's not attractive, but then got the money coming out the pockets and the hundreds and stuff, and he's not attractive. And then I just be like, do I want to be one of those girls? And there's nothing wrong about being that kind of girl. That's just not the girl I am. Do I want to be the girl who want a man that just got money and he not fine and I'm not percolating by looking at him? Or do I just want to say, okay, well, he got the stability part, let me just be appreciative like Keisha was saying. It's just, that's not for me. But I mean, you are a unicorn, so somebody's gonna get your child. But
like how Aisha said, a lot of girls, it's like you gotta either pick one. Is he got the money or he got the looks? And I'm like, as women, we shouldn't have to settle. Like, we want both, we should better get both. And I don't think finding a CJ, like Aisha said, is a unicorn, but I do think it's hard finding somebody that's fine, got their stuff together, and don't have hella options.
And not cheating, because that's what I was about to bring up. That's what I was about to bring up, because what Ashley initially asked was the fact that Quavo is a high value man, but Kevin Samuels is telling us women like we're not compatible with these high value men. They're not searching for us women, or I'm high value woman, so I don't know, he's not talking to me, but the women he doesn't find to be high value, they can't get those men. But Quavo is out here doing this, that, and the third. So this will come with the territory. So that's why I want to ask you. You say you're a high value man. You have the money. You have the look. But are you out here cheating? Are you a Quavo?
Can you fight that temptation? Because if you have all your stuff together, girls are attracted to you off that.
Exactly.
You got the looks. You got the money. I mean, I don't know you personally, but I'm pretty sure you got the vibe. You know what I'm saying? So is it hard to fight that temptation if you're trying to focus on one girl?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's always hard to fight temptation, but at the same time, I come from a family where, my dad stayed with my mom this whole time. They've been together for over 30 years, so I'm used to seeing that, so that's all I know. So it's really different. A lot of men come from broken families and women come from broken families, so we don't really have a lot of things to look up to as far as, a man that's able, a man that's loyal and come home every day after work, not out in the streets and stuff. My dad was never like that.
Right.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Yes. Okay, I get that. Okay, I can respect that. I don't know
Quavo's personal or whatever, but I know it just comes with the territory because they are in the 10%. Like high value men, black especially, like they're in the lower percentage of that 10%.
Absolutely.
So the rappers, the athletes, they feel like that is their justification to do these type of things. But I also agree with y'all, like men doing this anyways. You can have, you know, you making enough money. You can have me sleeping on a mattress.
I don't think that is okay for y'all to think. Well, like, how do I say this?
You think it's toxic for us to think that?
Yeah, I think like that's a problem that y'all got in your mind. That y'all think every guy, or you assuming he gonna cheat because he fine, he got money, or maybe it's y'all. Like, I'm not saying it's y'all, but you know, maybe it's the girl. Like, y'all get it?
Yeah. High value man, to me, yeah, I feel like they care a little bit about, you know, if you're high value, you have those degrees. But I don't really think they care that much. When they're making so much money, they don't give a damn. Like, if you fine, you a baddie, you look good for the looks, all you gotta have is a personality for real. Yeah. And they gonna provide the rest. So I think that's where it don't matter that you making 6 figures for real.
Kevin Samuels did say that.
We don't care about your money because at the end of the day, it's not ours.
Yeah.
And if you talk to provide, then your money doesn't have a whole lot of value.
And men like you to be submissive. And a lot of men feel like the way that you submit, I'm bringing bread to the table.
That's true.
So what's a high value? So can a high value man, a high value woman? I want to ask you, what's a high value woman to you? And can a high value man only date a high value man? If that makes sense.
Well, we can't say only because only rules out.
Oh, only, yeah.
You know, so at the end of the day, you know, the majority is, okay, you got a woman that's at the top as far as looks wise. She can, you know, pick her options between men. She got all the options.
Okay.
So essentially, it's the same thing for men. You know, if I'm a man that got a lot of money, then I can pick out of the best women that I want to date. So if you look really well, then you know, okay, I can deal with these type of dudes, and these type of dudes I could just, you know,
push to the side.
Y'all are like constantly saying like it's got to be the man who always got to cheat, right? So what if it's y'all? Like, what if it's something like y'all are constantly in your mind that's saying like, what if it's y'all the one that got the issue and not him?
So, and you're right, they could come up, but what I feel like is most of the time, first of all, I think men are manipulators in a sense, and let me tell you how they're manipulators.
Okay.
Because I've been with men who made me, or felt like, I almost felt like they coerced me into thinking I was the problem, and it's them. They're the problem. Yeah. So the reason why, I know you're gonna say, well, I think men are the problem.
Okay.
They're the problem because, again, I'm speaking for myself as a woman. I feel like I'm a nurturer. I also come from a 2-parent household. My parents been together for 30 plus years. That's what I want. And I let men know up front what I'm looking for. Now, if you decide to play with me after I told you what I was looking for, you're the issue. Now, of course, in a relationship, you have to compromise and you got to see people's sides. I understand all that. But as far as infidelity is concerned, if you don't want to be with me or you feel like you got to cheat on me, you can go about your business. I just feel like don't bring that into the spectrum. And yes, women do cheat, and we are sneakier about it. I agree with that too. But in my opinion, I'm not gonna sit here and say I've never cheated. I absolutely have cheated before. But I cheated because that man did something to me first. I didn't just go off the whim and say, oh, I'm about to be out here. He did something to me first, and I'm gonna play get back because that's how I move.
So I like that's how a lot of women though.
So basically you saying, did he cheat on you first and you cheated back type of stuff?
Yeah, he cheated on me first, and I was like, okay, I still love him. I didn't leave. We gonna get that's a whole nother story. But then instead I was like, okay, well I'm gonna cheat too. But asking me, do he know that I cheated? No, he don't.
Was it confirmed that he cheated?
Oh yeah, it was confirmed. Text messages. He got hands put on him. All that was confirmed. Yeah.
But back to what Jazz saying, how she's saying like we assume. I don't think like I feel like it's okay to assume, but you can trust that person until they give you reasonable doubt. Then it's like then you gotta act on it. But in my head, I will always think. In my head, I don't think it's wrong to automatically assume, okay, this guy is fine, he got a job, he got a house, he got all this, he got hella options. I think it's okay to assume, look, a man gonna be a man. But I don't think you should act on it unless he give you reasonable doubt.
That's not a man, but are you also being insecure?
I don't think it's insecure because you're not acting
bone in my body.
You're not acting because for me, I know I'm a prize, but I'm still gonna always think no matter what, I don't put nothing past nobody. The people you think will least cheat will cheat.
Now that I disagree with her on. I disagree.
You don't think the people you last
No,
met?
that's not what a part I disagree on. I disagree with, I don't go in any relationship thinking they're gonna cheat on me. I don't think that's not what I'm saying. I was
No, I'm not saying, let me clarify this. I'm not saying I go in thinking he gonna cheat. I'm saying I'm not naive to thinking that somebody of high value or somebody's fine that got their stuff together have hella options. I'm not naive about that when it comes to you first meeting somebody. That's
right, but what I'm saying is, I go in a fresh canvas, period. I don't even have that thought process of what you just said.
Yeah,
that's how I am, but I'm also very, now, none.
I have to disagree because when we're talking about guys and stuff, when we're talking about a fine guy, and we talk about, I'm just gonna be real, we talk about like the social media followers, you always say, you be like, I'm not gonna lie, he got all them followers.
Okay, well then let me tell you.
And it's for girls too. People can be intimidated by followers.
Right, agreed. But dating somebody and being in a committed relationship is two different things. The person we were talking about is a date. I'm talking about boyfriend, and yes, I do think that's gonna be hard because that's a lot more temptation.
Right.
So you saying boyfriend, you think that just because he looks good, he's automatically gonna cheat? That's what you're saying?
Are you talking to me or?
Yeah, because I didn't say that.
That's not what I was saying.
Okay.
Jazz said, when Jazz brought the conversation up, she said, I think it's wrong that y'all assume that when you meet a fine person with their shit together, that they're automatically, they got it.
Like if y'all met CJ in a club, y'all be like, oh.
Right, Jazz is talking about when you first meet, like, why do I assume? I don't even know him. Why am I assuming he ain't shit? That's what Jazz is
Yeah, I don't assume that. A lot of women
I would meet, like, let's just say I go to the club, or even if it's not the club, I can meet somebody out somewhere randomly, and the first thing they say, you look like a hoe.
Exactly.
So when the man hear that, they be like, damn, you must don't think you can secure me.
Exactly.
Right, and I'm just being realistic for what goes in people's head. Now, if I think that, I'm never one of those girls who be like, oh, you look like hoe, and that's why I can pull somebody attractive. Even though if I say that in my head, I'm not gonna say it. But girls, if we're being realistic, every girl does that. They see a fine girl, they see a fine man, and they're like, oh, you look like you got all the hoes in the world. You like you a player. It's just being realistic. Everybody does that.
But first of all, you're talking about a random meeting somebody with I thought Jazz was talking about if I'm in a relationship, do I assume he gonna cheat on me? No, I don't assume he gonna cheat on me. That's what I'm talking about. Though.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about I'm in the club and I see a very attractive man. Of course I'm gonna be like, dang, I'm sure he got everybody in his DM. I do think like that. I'm talking about in my relationship. No, I don't go in my relationship thinking I'm getting cheated on. No, I don't think that way.
No, you shouldn't think that because then why would you be in a relationship? I thought she was genuinely saying you meet somebody like CJ high value, why do we always assume he ain't shit? That's what I thought she was saying.
That just like y'all have skeptical, feelings about a dude that might have options. If a dude come up to you talking like, oh, I bet you got a bunch of dudes trying to talk to you, ain't that like a kind of like a low?
Like, and people do that to me all the time too. They be like, oh fuck, you got men on the bottom of your feet because you got 15,000 followers or whatever. And like you said, it's unattractive. So that's why I would never do that to somebody because it's like, okay, well, if you too insecure, you can't handle somebody like you.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
As Kevin Samuels has said in multiple of his videos, he discusses women's standards and he says they're too high. So what I want to know from y'all, are women's standards too high? And if so, should women just take what they can get? For me personally, I would say I do believe women's standards are too high. I feel like women, we kind of put like so much of a high pedestal based off of money that we kind of do ourselves a disservice of like neglecting all the other characteristics that the man can have. Like, just because you have money doesn't mean that you're not gonna get cheated on, doesn't mean that man's gonna respect you, that doesn't mean he's not fighting demons, he doesn't have childhood trauma, nothing.
I mean, yeah, I feel like if you're a 5, stay in your 5 lane. Okay, like if you're 5, you out here looking for a 10, you're not gonna get it, sis.
Now for me, I think the biggest problem is just when women feel like they have to be so complacent in life and just expect for a man to just be their freaking, like just financially provide, just do everything, and they literally bring nothing to the table.
And my thing is like, referring back to the video, the average at best video, it's like, I mean, she was making 6 figures too, but a lot of times a girl cannot be making 6 figures and she be like, I only want a 6-figure man. How you gonna only want a 6-figure man when you don't make 6 figures yourself? So that's what I mean when it's too high. Like, okay, if they come along and they want you, that's different, but you can't sit here and say you require that and you don't do that for yourself. Like, I'm very big on you gotta be independent, and whatever a man do for you, that's extra. You shouldn't depend on nobody. And I feel like we're so into, financial stuff, but we gotta start basing stuff on like your values and your compatibility and stuff. Those should be like the top thing. It shouldn't really be financial stuff.
That's what we should. But just like CJ said in the beginning, he said that he's willing to allow a woman with nothing to bring to the table. If she comes as a 10, we gonna go on a date. Like, so a lot of women have started to normalize if they know like they're baddies, or they know like they. Appearance wise, they fit what a lot of men want. They feel like they don't have to do anything. Like, we have just normalized that behavior for so long, and niggas are being niggas. Like, they're just fishing after a woman who's fine as fuck, and like you said, like a woman who has so much to bring to the table, doesn't matter. So my resume is this long, but you don't really give a damn. You want to like how she look though, bro. Like you don't give a damn. I graduated from Spelman, I make this much. You don't care about none of that. I mean, it's gonna be a plus when we get to know each other. But so to speak, just to get me in the door, like not for me, because I know I'm getting the door, but for a lot of women, they feel like that, and then. I just feel like that's what it's just the.
But everybody doesn't have that. Isn't lucky enough. Like you have those girls who. The cream of the crop, so they can do that. They don't have to bring nothing to the table.
You looks wise, or
I'm talking about look wise, because you said you have those, who they don't bring nothing to the table. So, like Aisha said, you're kind of talking about those unicorn situations where you can do that. But a lot of girls, like Jazz said, they not even top tier, but they want all this top tier stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, okay, so I have 2 points. The first point that I want to make is I will consider myself as a high value woman, and. In my opinion, no woman or man should require something that they don't have going on.
Absolutely.
If you don't have a car, if you don't have your own place, if you don't have an income, if you don't make a certain amount, in my opinion, and I'm basing this off of me because I have those things, I feel like I can ask for those.
Exactly.
But if you don't have it, I don't think you need to be asking. And then my second point is, I don't agree with what you said, Jazz. You said a 5. You said a 5 need to stay in a 5 place. I feel like if you are a 5 or you think you're a 5, you need to shoot for the stars, sis. Because at the end of the day, let me tell you why I say you need to shoot for the stars. Because what is somebody trash will be somebody else's treasure. I see very handsome men all day long with some ugly ducklings all the time, and I just kind of feel like just because we think looks and money value does not mean that it's the Bible. So I'm saying all that to say, like, I really kind of feel like if that's what you want, if you want that man, get that man. I know plenty of women who slide in me in DMs, and that's what they want. Them the type of men they want. And the men be like, hey, I do want to talk to her. She cool. Let me see what she's talking about. They go on to get married. It just depends. Like, if that's what you want, still go for it. I don't think you need to stay in your place, because I don't know what rating I am, but baby, I'm going for the top of the cream of the crop.
I think Jazz was saying more of stay in the place where when you only require certain things.
Exactly.
Not saying, I don't think she was saying like, if it comes along, don't go for it. I think she's more so talking about like in the back to the video where that girl, she said she was a 6 or whatever she was. How you can't only require, and Jazz pointed out things she's saying, you can't only require, I only want that.
But she can if that's what she wants. I know some men that say, I only want a girl that look like this. I only want a girl who this. I only want this. We all have our preferences of what we only want.
Yeah.
She can only want you. It might be. But if I just feel like as a woman, if I want a man that is a certain way, I'm going to keep going. I desperately right now want a man that will not cheat. I'm not going to just settle for one that does cheat.
That kind of perspective. I'm saying to the video. Even Kevin said, what, she a 6?
Yeah. She said she's a 5 at best. That's what she said.
At best. So,
Right,
and
herself a 6.
But did you rate herself a 5? She said she was a 5. What did you rate the girl in video 1 when you saw her? Just be honest. What did you rate her? Your high value
Her value was pretty much what she said.
Her value was, she said, 5 at best. So do you feel like a woman, now then, this is the thing that got me, is because a lot of women get hung up on, like, we don't want men to just like us for our looks, but then she followed up with when he said you were, okay, well, you are an average girl. She followed up and said, but my body not. So it's kind of like women kind of do contradict themselves. Men do too, but women, we kind of do want men to think we're attractive. We kind of do want to be valued based off our looks. And she proved that by saying, and even in video 2, we know how much of a higher regard looks are. The girl, I don't know what her weight is. I can't say what it is, but I did go through the comments and I did see a lot of people saying that, the 150, she kept it at that because it sounded more appeasing for him, for her rate.
for him to think that she's actually a high value woman based off her looks. And he's like, you have a round face. You're not as cute as you think you are. Men aren't going for that. So if you're a high value man and you say that her rating was average, would you have went for it? She had her stuff together, she said.
No.
You would have went for her. But her stuff is together, but you still wouldn't.
No.
The only reason he challenged her about her rating is because she said that she wanted to be arm candy for a man. So this is what he said, well, what do you think you are?
And she rated herself a 5.
And that's where she lost. That's where she lost. Because if you think higher of yourself and you walk around with this high confidence, a man is going to automatically think higher of you. You put yourself at the bottom of the barrel, you rate him. I would never say that.
So basically, like what he's saying is, if you saying that you want a man that's making 150,000, right? That's if the percentage of men in this country that make that amount is less than 6. Basically, what you're saying is you're ruling out the other 94% of men. So what you're doing is limiting your options. And if you look like your average, which is not, that's not a bad thing.
Yeah. True.
It's nothing wrong with looking average. Like people have this false misconception of, oh, I'm average. Like everybody's not a 10. Everybody can't win a beauty pageant. So it's like if you rank here looks wise, why are you ruling out all the guys that you actually qualify for?
Right.
Because if you up in the 6%, why would he choose you? If he got all these beautiful women
But who's to say she don't qualify for those men?
No,
that's what I'm saying.
No, what I'm telling you is that men, we have our own ranking of what we see is, okay, this is a girl that I would date. So just like y'all have a ranking of a dude that has money or not have money, it's the same thing. That's just the way we measure it.
But just how you said she maybe is a 5 to you, she might be a 10 to somebody else.
But on average,
she could,
she's
but
a 5.
we can't.
But what makes her an average 5 though? Y'all
She thought she was an average 5.
So she has to be an average 5. If she said she's an average 5, then we gotta take her.
We gotta be realistic.
Yeah.
Everybody gets so uptight about what Kevin said. Yeah, his delivery is rude and it's condescending, but majority of the stuff he said, you just sit back and listen. I think that's one of the problems with women. We don't listen. Like when we're looking at stuff, we're just ready for our defense. But if you just sit there and you listen to what he's saying, his logic, it actually kind of makes sense. Like it's rude, but it's real.
Yeah.
If we're being real, a man is really concerned about how you look.
But I disagree with that because it goes back to what I'm saying. Like Kevin's word is not the Bible.
No,
That's not the Bible. That's what I'm saying. You think it's true? Nobody read the Bible but the Lord. But that's fine for y'all to think that. But what I'm saying is, she did say she was a 5. I agree with that. She said she was a 5. But for him to say, yeah, you can't be a 7, like he was basically baiting her to go lower. You look at the video. So, but that's what I'm saying. If he had done that same thing to me and said, you can't say 7, I absolutely would have went high above. But that's the type of woman I am.
But you
that doesn't mean, society level.
Exactly. There's society ranking, there's self-ranking.
Right.
Like, of course, most people with self-esteem wouldn't say that self is 5. She was actually being honest about herself.
Was she being honest? Or was she making her say that she was a 5?
I mean, she was reaching.
As a man, since men is the ones who, are estimating the looks of the girl, I would say yes, she was right.
She was a 5.
On the look scale.
On the look, she was a 5.
Not only that, it's probably something with her self-confidence that she was like, okay, well, I see myself as a 5, so I'm a 5.
I'm gonna be honest, I was offended in what Kevin Samuel said in that episode is because I see what y'all saying, she's a 5, she rated herself a 5. But when he said something about taking the lashes off, taking the weave off, and the makeup off, what you look like, really, I felt that to be very problematic. I felt it to be problematic because at the end of the day, who are you to say how a woman should look based off of if she's a 5 or not?
But you
Because, like, you can't rate yourself a 10 with or any top tier if your face beat every day. Like, that's not how you really look. Like, you got here fooling these niggas when you all beat up all the time, and when he wake up and the makeup going, you look like.
But that's what it should be. So when you wake up. And
based off your natural beauty. Beauty is arbitrary, and I just feel like beauty is an eye of the beholder. But I'm just saying, because if everybody don't think natural face is what they care about, and I hate that we live in a society where they got to be like the standard, because it's not.
But Kevin isn't Bible, but you call the show for Kevin's opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's what it is. So in that situation, he is what is his rating. You call, you pay that. It's like $1,000 for the sort of thing. And it's just like, and off that, she already had a problem with listening. Like I don't want to be sitting here like being against her, but it was supposed to be disagreement day, and she going there trying to get advice. She already came on the show, not listening.
She obviously was not getting no play because
and that could be her very problem right there.
Way too high.
I feel like every man he's not looking for just strictly looks, and I'll tell y'all why. I had an ex who, I mean, honestly, if we're being honest, I rate myself above average. I would say I'm definitely an 8 at best. Not at best, but at least. But
You're at 10.
yeah, 8 at least. But he actually said, okay, but what else do you bring to the table? And to be honest, I want to be like, well, nigga, I am the table. But I mean, if we being honest, looks aren't everything. That's not all a man is looking for.
Yeah, I think race ain't everything.
Looks get you in the door.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But you gotta have more to offer. It's
You
just
do.
not.
Just like if we see a man, Ash, if somebody, you can put both of them, you don't know their background, you're gonna walk in the direction of the one who's attractive. And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
No, looks definitely got me in the door, but what I'm saying is you have to have more to offer.
Yeah.
Looks just can't
After
be
that
that
conversation, but when Kevin is on there with the girls, that's what he's going off of.
Because he don't know nothing.
He also said men don't care about.
Of course, your personality plays a big role, because I know plenty of guys who met girls. The girls fine, and their personality sucks.
Yeah, it's like the personality will keep him.
Yeah,
you still gotta win his mind. You still you can't just win in
his heart.
Yeah.
You already won that. But you gotta win.
Hopefully.
Yeah, because you still gotta.
If that shit weak, then you didn't win that either. Then you really
I tried to tell him, CJ.
Yeah.
Value to you is different. So let's just say you put a car out. Let's just say you put a raggedy hoopty out on the lot, and you put a sign that say $100,000 on the car. How many people gonna stop by that car and say, I want to buy this car? Or somebody gonna stop and say, I'll give you $1,000 for it. I'll give you $500 for it. So at the end of the day, we could think what we want to think value-wise of ourselves for our own self-esteem, but when it comes to dating, it's more realistic to think, okay, what the people that I want to get, in which in y'all case would be men, what do they value in a woman for marriage?
Speaking facts.
Yeah.
Like you can't when you listen to him, you cannot have a low self-esteem. Like you came in for advice, you came in here the truth. That's exactly what he's gonna give you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but like I said, like he's speaking facts. So what he's saying, like you can't take it to heart. Like some stuff you gotta take with a grain of salt. But he's not lying all the time. Like maybe every video.
I just feel like because we have another high value man here, and I feel like he's saying the same thing Kevin said, but I can listen to him and respect what he's saying. Like I can't respect you if you talking to me crazy.
But you say it in a way so the bitches, oops.
And that's the language. That's the language barrier between men and women, because women talk to each other in a certain way, and they expect men to talk to y'all in a polite way, a mannerable way. So. But the difference is men talk to one another like how he talked to y'all. So it's like, it's like this is the first time y'all are seeing somebody talk to y'all in the way that we really talk to each other. So it's like, damn, what the, But the same way he talked about women, he's also talked about men for a whole entire year. He was talking to men for 2 years. He just started focusing on women the last year because that's what helped grow him. So
I think women are just sensitive, especially if you're calling Kevin, like them comments about to be heated, everything. And a lot of people, they get on there just to go back and forth with him, and they not even just listening. I feel like if you're gonna call, listen, yes, he's rude or whatever, but to me, you can't be sensitive.
I'm mad because you know it's true.
Yeah, you don't want to hear the truth. And in general, not to play devil's advocate or whatever, but in general, women just don't want to take accountability. They always, every time, in any relationship, they always assume, oh, it's the man's fault, But could it be you? Like, you just they never take accountability.
Well, here's my thing. I don't have an issue with what he says. I do feel like he needs to be, we should be more honest and brutal. And like you said, everybody can't be a beauty pageant winner. Everybody can't win a prize. But what I don't particularly care for, because I actually looked at the entire video until it literally started showing me somebody else's video. I didn't like how he started calling the girl a broad and like kept, to me,
Like, I get it, be honest and truthful, stand in your truth, tell people the truth. I get that.
Yeah.
But when you start calling people broads because, and this was the young lady who rated herself a 5, she was very sweet the whole time. She never said nothing crazy. She wasn't being disrespectful. And I was like, dang, what made him go that hard? I mean, I get it, she called at the wrong time, the wrong segment. But to me, I just felt like that was a bit much. And I just feel like that kind of man, please keep me away from that kind of man. I don't want that kind of man. He's very, like, I just can see how he talked to women behind closed doors, and I'm very straight.
Of course, you should never call a woman out her name.
Yeah.
So no, but
I would never go for somebody like Kevin either, because that's why I would never call him from that type of show, because I'm like, I can't take that type of, like, you know what I'm saying? But that's his role, that's his character. It's like if you go on a Breakfast Club, you know Charlamagne is going to give it to you. You know that's character, it's entertainment. That's how it goes.
Yeah.
So I just feel like you know what to expect. So why are we shocked that he, like, it's wrong? Yeah, but why are we shocked? Like,
Yeah, but since you brought up Charlamagne, with him and Kevin both have in common is, for me, keep that same energy. I'm the same person across the board. I'm not gonna change up because you got more money or you look good, and I'm not gonna change up because you ugly and you broke. I'm gonna keep the same energy with everybody. That's the only thing I want to see Kevin do differently moving forward. Is I want him to talk crazy to these fine women too, and he don't keep that energy. I mean, from what I'm seeing, the people, well, this is how it works, and we all know this because we work behind the scenes. You put the stuff out that people gonna be a wow factor. Him having a beautiful girl come on the channel, he can't really say nothing about her. It's nothing he can really say.
he never call her a 5, and
What's he gonna say? How can he hurt her feelings? And I feel like Charlamagne does that too. He don't come for the people that's popping and fine and popular. It's the ones it's the little mamas and everybody he want to talk about. You get what I'm saying? I just feel like you gotta have the same energy.
Alright guys, so on that note, we're going to end it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you have any suggestions on a new episode that you guys want us to feature, or any, if you guys have any topics that you want us to cover, let us know down in the comments. And make sure to subscribe, like us, comment, follow us on Instagram, all that.
Shout out to our guests.
Yes, thank you so much for coming.
Thank y'all for having me.
Thank you.